Here I go with another video on one of my little walks. And I think it's definitely a, what you call it? It's more of like the notes app for me. But I posted on my Instagram not like a few days ago that I saw this post where this girl was saying, thank God that I have, a boss or a manager or a director, whoever it is, at work who isn't like gaslighting them or upset or threatening them to lose their job just because they call out sick. Or, well, she meant sick. But also, I'm also thinking of like, even when you are going to a funeral or, oh my goodness, God forbid you have a mental health day, but they're allowed to take mental health days. And I remember I posted on, I further explained it because I love stuff like that. Because it's like, yeah, why are people not allowed to take off time? And also, how are you going to further the production of whatever is happening at work if all of your people are sick? Maybe it sounds crazy, which is okay, but I just believe that people are allowed to take, I think it should be at least a day, like 3 days at least, to just get your shit together. Because I've had people before who would gaslight me because I took off due to my PCOS inflammation or just being sick or just kind of I had to lie and say I had to do something, but it was really a mental health break. And I feel like definitely, I mean, even me who is a assistant teacher / teacher, I need that. I think all teachers should have it. It becomes very draining to be around kids who need everything 24/7. And, I got, but yeah, I don't think people should gaslight. Obviously, I don't even think that should be the first thing on anybody's mind is to gaslight someone just because they're not feeling well, whether that be mentally or physically. And I think that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, like literally I do it. I don't do it all the time, but when I need it, I need it. And I also posted on my story that, yeah, sometimes, it sucks because you're losing out on money, but like, how are you going to make the money if you're sick? How are you going to make the money if you're sick and not feeling well? But yeah, I'm on one of my little walks. It's currently Saturday. And I just thought about it because, I kind of got upset. And I really had to, I didn't really have to think about it, but it just reminded me that one time that I got the flu and I was just not being treated right. Like I came into work and then all of a sudden, like I just felt like the whole world was on me. And, I had some words said to me that was very, very not appropriate and very not deserving. And I ended up just going home because this person was very rude to me. And I was just like, okay, usually if someone is sick, the first thing I'm not going to do is gaslight them for getting sick. It happens. And for people who are like that, who are just like really mean and upset with life, I'm trying my best to hit them with kindness because I've come from a family or just around people who feel like they need to get their leg back. And I don't know, I realize I'm not one of those people. So I just think finding them with kindness. So like when that person got sick, I was very kind to them, showing them examples of like what to do when somebody is sick, not to gaslight them, but to just say like, hey, are you okay? Are you all right? Do you need anything? Do you need me to call someone for you to come and pick you up? Like stuff like that would be nice instead of like gaslighting them for getting sick the day you need them, so I just think that, sorry, I'm going up a hill. I just think that, you want to be kind to people in this world. A lot of the things that you do in this lifetime somehow comes back on you in different ways, and that's why I'm trying my best to just hit people with some kindness, because that's really what they need. Or, hit them with an example of how to address a problem. Okay, I finally sat myself down. I'm sitting at this, I don't know, it looks like a lunch area for people who work in this little free space corporate building. So I thought maybe I'd just sit here. But yeah, I kind of had this day where, I rebraided my hair because the last style that I had just did not look good. So I ended up doing this whole little cookies and cream type of, seance I got going on. But I'm on my period right now. This is day 3, so a lot of things come up for me around this time. And when I saw that video, I think I'm gonna attempt to screenshot it, but when I saw that video, I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm not the only, I knew I wasn't the only person, but I'm glad somebody spoke up about it. Because the fact that there's people in this world who are just straight up nasty. I'm not, I'm not completely unaware of these things. I've come across nasty people in my life. Almost all of my life, actually. And, if I was a little bit younger, I'm 26 now. If I was a little bit younger, I probably would have been you know what, let me get my leg back. But I'm not that type of person anymore. I'm very it's either I talk about it to them or I just kind of show them examples of love and examples of kindness through actions, because I just don't have the energy to be nasty back to people. It's just not a part of me, literally. But I'm glad I'm doing another video. I have something to talk about. I haven't been, I do have ideas, but I haven't been so on it, just because I'm working summer camp right now, and when I come home I'm very tired. But thank God that I'm not working 8 to 5 the whole rest of the camp, so I'm gonna be working from 8 to 3. So I finally get a break, and maybe you'll start seeing more of me on here. Maybe. Yeah, okay, I keep going all over the place, but literally, I just think you just don't want to be super rude to people, especially in a workplace, because you're creating a very to put it in a vague sense, it's not a good environment. You're making an unsafe environment for passive aggressive comments, for gossiping, and that's not how work is supposed to be. It's supposed to be this parallel play, but also working together type of environment, and coming up with solutions and stuff. And I just don't see the enjoyment and the gossiping, oh, who's doing this and who's doing that. I'll hear about it and I'll just be okay. This has nothing to do with me, so I'm gonna mind my business on it. But yeah, I just don't see the joy in it. But yeah, when you're making an unsafe environment, it's just, people don't want to go to work anymore. You start losing people. It's just not fun. And then sorry, loud truck, but it's just it's boring. It's annoying. And also we I work with children, and if you're a teacher, there's drama everywhere in your school setting. Best thing to do is to not get caught up in it, because once you get caught up in it, now is your problem and you have to stress about it. So I think that was the best advice that my advisor gave to me in college, was yeah, and if you hear any tea on any of the other teachers, don't get involved. And I'm you're absolutely right. That's why if I had any issues with anybody at work, I would just go to them and say like, hey, like if there's an issue, like I would like to talk it out with you. Like, I mean, it's very scary to go up to them, but it's just, you would rather go up to them instead of spreading rumors about them or telling other people that you're upset with them, because then that's going to get back to them, and then, you know, different words are going to be flying around or whatever. So that's why the most that I do, I'll just say like, you just please talk to me about what the issue is. Not like that, but you know, let's come up with solutions on how to fix this. Like, if you don't like it this way, then what's another way that we can do this, or like, you know, come to middle ground or something like that. But yeah, but going back, I just think when people get sick and you have like coworkers or you have like a manager, director, whoever it is, gaslighting you because you have to take off, I think that's so rude. Or like threatening you about your job and saying like, well, if you're gonna keep doing this, then I'm gonna take your job. And it's like, people can't help themselves. Like, people get sick, and I just think it's pretty messed up that there are a lot of like unhappy people in this world who want people to be unhappy with them, and and I'm just not a big fan of it, obviously. And you know, having it done to you and knowing the experience, having the experience of it is just really like, it's so sad. It is very upsetting and angry, and it makes you angry, obviously. But like I said, the best thing to do is to just, you know, don't take their energy and give it back to them. You know, change it up and, you know, give them kindness, because they're gonna look and they're gonna be like, oh, like, this person's really kind. I kind of was a jackass about doing that to them. You know, people, not everyone, but there are some people, when they were being rude and you hit them with kindness, then they start realizing like, oh, my behavior towards this person, you know, they start feeling guilty. And that's kind of what you want to happen. I mean, you don't want people to feel guilty, but you kind of want them. It's like with children. Like, if they slap you, you tell them like, oh, that really hurt. That hurt my feelings. That wasn't okay to do. And some people, they kind of have like toddler minds, or they have childlike minds. So sometimes they think that everything that they're doing is okay to do, but not realizing the consequences that comes with it. You know, people's emotions that comes with it, people's you know, mentality that comes with it. So this is going to be a short video, so I hope you guys, that was the last thing I wanted to talk about. So I'll see you guys in another video. See you later. Bye bye.